What's up guys, it's me, TXC Bands, and I'm back with a new Boruto video. Today we're covering 2 Blue Vortex Chapter 3 titled Uzuhiko. And recapping the last chapter, Boruto just got in a fight with Code, and he's about to use his new Rasengan, called Rasengan Uzuhiko. And we get to see that technique in this chapter. The Uzuhiko is like a really broken ability, and it exponentially increases Boruto's strength, and we'll talk about that more later on in this video. And we also get other major reveals in this chapter, such as the toad that's in Boruto's coat, but we'll get to that too. So let's start to go through the chapter, starting at the beginning. On the cover of the chapter this month, we get a picture of Himawari, and she's in a fighting pose, so hopefully we get to see some more Himawari action in this time skip. Now we begin the actual chapter, and we see that Code initial reactions to Boruto's new move, Rasengan Uzuhiko, is that he thinks it might be Vanishing Rasengan, since he's seen Boruto use Vanishing Rasengan a lot in the past. But this is clearly different than Vanishing Rasengan. Boruto walks towards Code slowly and openly, which is much different than he would do if he had a Vanishing Rasengan. And Boruto right now is surrounded by like a aura of wind, which signifies that Uzuhiko is active around him right now. And Code takes action by teleporting behind Boruto with his claw marks, but he attacks Boruto with his claw hands, but Boruto just easily dodges the attack. After Boruto dodges, he goes at Code with the palm of his hand in order to attack, and Code grabs his arm to stop him and then goes to attack with his other claw. And Boruto blocks with Sasuke's sword, so they're now in like a hand-to-hand deadlock now. And Code arrogantly says that Boruto will never be able to even hit him with Uzuhiko, but essentially, Boruto doesn't even have to land a hit with Uzuhiko for it to work. Boruto's Uzuhiko aura spreads onto Code's arm, coiling up his arm and spreading like all over his body. And Boruto once again asks Code to just give up now, and he won't kill him, as long as Boruto gets the location of the 10 tails. But Code, he won't give in that easily. He goes to claw Boruto again, but Boruto seems to dodge it, and we find out soon that he's actually not dodging it. Code is just missing. And Code is confused on how Boruto's dodging his attack so easily, but then Boruto palms him right in the stomach, putting like all of his force into it and all of his Uzuhiko energy into the attack. Code screams in pain as he gets palmed in the stomach and is sent flying away. And just a reminder that Code is like an Ishiki level threat, and he's just being abused by Boruto's attacks. And now we cut to Ada, who's watching in with her omnipotence, and Daemon is sitting next to her talking to her, and Ada is confused on how Uzuhiko even works, but Daemon seems to have a very accurate understanding of it, even though he hasn't even seen it. Daemon, through just the trembling of the ground, deduces that Uzuhiko makes use of the planet's spin. And this is a crazy assumption to make by just feeling the ground. Back to Code and Boruto though, Boruto is surprised at this point that Code can even stand. That's when we see, from Code's perspective, everything around him is twirling and spinning, and he even ends up falling over from the spinning like he's dizzy. Boruto explains his technique to Code now, of course, and his Rasengan Uzuhiko incorporates the planet's rotation into the attack. It's the power of the Earth's rotation that rushes through Code's body, so he constantly feels like he's spinning. And it doesn't stop unless the Earth actually stops. So essentially, it never stops. The spinning will kill him eventually, just from being activated, And Code keeps on falling over embarrassingly and is unable to fight Boruto at all. Boruto brings up that the option is still open of Code giving up the location of the Ten Tails, and Boruto will then resign the Uzuhiko that's on Code. But before Code can even answer Boruto, Kawaki comes in and attacks him. Boruto obviously dodges Kawaki's attack, and then Shikirai, Inojin, Chocho, and Himawari come following Kawaki. Boruto spends a moment looking at Himawari because he actually cares for her deeply, but she doesn't actually know it because of Ada's spell. Shikirai then asks Boruto what he's doing here in Konoha, and Boruto answers by just saying that he has a deal to make with Code. And while they're distracted and talking, Code makes his claw marks on the ground and tries to escape. But then Kawaki sees him and he uses his Sukuna Hikona to stop Code from escaping. Kawaki talks to Hokage Shikamaru in his head, and he actually plans on killing Code here, now that he is drained, and Hokage Shikamaru agrees, but Boruto doesn't agree. Boruto needs Code around so he could get the Ten Tails location out of him, and Kawaki is now pissed off at Boruto, like always, because he doesn't want to be ordered around by Boruto. And then Code takes another opportunity to get out of there by summoning a claw grime. And Kawaki quickly just attacks the claw grime and kills it, but not before Code is able to escape through the claw grime. And they're all aggravated now by Code escaping, but now Kawaki tells all the rest of them to leave because he has business alone with Boruto. Then we cut away for a moment from all of this to see that Sarada is with that Jonin from last chapter who got turned into a tree. Sarada hypothesizes that the claw grimes make trees because the Ten Tails have the ability to make the divine tree, and they're just like the Ten Tails. So their trees are like a small and useless version of the divine tree. Sarada realizes that Jonin is alive though, so they're gonna try to save him now. And back with Kawaki and Boruto, Kawaki comments how Boruto is acting and dressing just like the Uchiha. The Uchiha obviously being Sasuke. And Boruto doesn't really care about Kawaki's disses on him because he's just happy to see that Himawari is well. And Boruto wants Kawaki to stop getting in his way because he needs to make that deal with Code. But Kawaki just responds and says that Boruto's in his way because he wants to kill Code. And then on the next page, we see from the neck of Boruto's coat, a toad whispers into Boruto's ear. And this 100% confirms now that Boruto trained on Mount Miyaboku because he has a toad. And he might even have trained with Kashin Koji, who also used the toads. And maybe he's even a toad sage because there was a 3-year time skip, and that would be plenty of time for him to become a sage. So Boruto's plan with the toads was to have one sneak on the Code for surveillance, and we cut then to Code, who's back in the dimension with the Ten Tails. We see Bug, the guy who was originally with Code and Ada when they were making their plans. He's there, and he has been turned in a tree for some reason. And then we see a weakened Code, like limping over to where the Ten Tails is, and we see a toad sneak out from behind his leg. Code is presumably going to extract chakra from the Ten Tails, but now that he sees the Ten Tails, Boruto also sees the Ten Tails through the toad. And he knows the Ten Tails location at long last, the thing that he's been looking for these whole chapters. And he does a hand sign now, so he might even teleport across dimensions to get to where Code is right now. And his left eye is not shown in the image, so my theory is that he's using the Jogan in order to teleport, and they're just not showing it yet. That's the end of the chapter. The Rasengan Uzuhiko is one crazy attack if it beat Code that easily. Remember that Code is arguably stronger than even Ishiki, and Boruto made him look like a insect, just dealing with him real quickly. And I want to see where it goes next chapter with Boruto. I hope that Boruto is able to travel across dimensions with some ability in order to chase after Code and to get the Ten Tails. And if he could travel across dimensions, he is most definitely a much stronger fighter than we even realized. And I predict that Boruto even might have Toad Sage mode, which will maybe be revealed soon. So come back next month to see what happens next chapter and see what Boruto's new powers are that he hasn't revealed yet. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe because it'll help out the channel a lot. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.